President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday asked governors of the 36 states and the FCT to make education a priority by ensuring that children have access to free and quality education. The president, who gave this directive at the inauguration of the 2019 to 2023 National Economic Council in Abuja, said the gains of basic education are enormous.
Your Excellencies, I want you to pay special attention to the four major issues of security, education, health and agriculture in the coming years of this tenure. As you are no doubt aware, our successes in these four areas will go a long way in lifting our people out of poverty and secure our future for sustainable growth and development. On education, I want to stress in particular the need to take very seriously and enforce very rigorously the statutory provisions on free and compulsory basic education. Section 18, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended places on all of us here an obligation to eradicate illiteracy and provide free and compulsory education. Section 2 of the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act provides that every government in Nigeria shall provide free, compulsory, and universal basic education for every child of primary and junior secondary school age.
The president stated clearly that it is a crime for any parent to keep their children from school in their formative age.
It is indeed a crime for any parent to keep his child out of school for this period. In my view, when a government fails to provide the schools, teachers, and teaching materials necessary for basic education, it is actually aiding and abetting that crime. This is therefore a call to action. I would like to see every governor rise from this meeting and rally his local government chairman towards ensuring that our schools offer the right opportunities and provide the needed materials and teachers for basic education at the minimum. If we are able to do this, the benefits would surely manifest themselves.
President Buhari used the medium to assure Nigerians that his administration will ensure the extension and expansion of the school feeding program. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejirogenefife for Ben Television.
The President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawal, has assured Nigerians there will be change in the pattern it carry out its oversight functions. Senator Ahmad Lawal said this while paying host to the member of the Senate press corps led by Chairman Israel Tabiu, who paid him a courtesy visit at his office in Abuja. He promised an effective oversight of the legislative arms of government from the conception till delivery.
As a legislature, we also have that enviable role of oversighting the executive arm of government. That much we will do, and in fact, we will even try to structure our oversight process not as we did it before. We want to see an oversight that is structured from conception to the presentation of reports by our committees to the plenary of the Senate at all times. We want to ensure that whoever is given a responsibility on the side of the executive discharges that responsibility. When Mr. President recruits or appoints a minister, the minister is expected to help Mr. President perform those duties assigned to him. And we are going to ensure that those who are supposed to work with us in such a fashion and manner that we are able to together deliver the services.
He also promised that the Senate will not have unnecessary rancor with any minister during the committee oversight to enable them deliver on their mandate to serve Nigerians.
But we are not going to have unnecessary rancor or going to market to throw stones. We are going to be absolutely focused, absolutely determined to ensure that Nigerians are taken to the next level of development. In the process of governance, we are expected to work with the executive arm of government. We are supposed to have a relationship of complementarity. We are supposed to have a relationship that is based on cooperation, collaboration, synergy, and partnership. We are not in contestations, and we will not be in contestations with the executive arm of government. We are meant to serve the same people.
He appreciated the role of the media play over his emergence as the Senate president.
It's one thing to be the leader of the Senate and the National Assembly, and it's entirely another thing to work and succeed. And probably that is the most difficult challenge. So while appreciating what you have done in terms of supporting us to be where we are, I want to also invite you and urge you to come along with us in this very historic and important journey to nation building.
On his part, the chairman of the Senate Press Corps, Israel Tabio, congratulated Ahmed Lawal on his victory and appealed for seamless collaboration with the media.
Some of the reasons why we decided to embark on this courtesy visit was one, to actually make it a platform on which we were going to extend a congratulatory message to you. Secondly, to also come up with workable strategies which would ensure that we have a harmonious working relationship in the National Assembly, and to also ensure that we also get your cooperation in ways that will enhance our productivity level as members of the Senate Press Corps.
He called for the support of the Senate ahead of the launch of the West African Parliamentary Union during the Press Corps Week on July 8, 2019.
As part of long-term plans to solve security challenges in the country, the federal government is set to proscribe the emergency system in order to ensure that no child is deprived of basic education. National Security Advisor Babagana Monguno, while addressing State House Correspondent after the National Economic Council meeting in Abuja, said for the country to overcome some of the security challenges, the system must be proscribed.
I'm talking about the Almajiri phenomenon. Ultimately, government will have to proscribe this Almajiri phenomenon, because we cannot continue to have urchins, streets, children roaming around only for them in a couple of years or decades to become a problem to society. We are not saying that they're going to be contained in a manner that, I'm sure you think maybe we might want to do something that is harmful to them. No, what we want to do is to work with the state governments to enforce the policy of education for every child. It is every child's right, his entitlement, for as long as he's a Nigerian.
He emphasized that regardless of how people feel about these issues, if it's not addressed, it will become a very deadly phenomenon in the future.
One of the elements of national power is the population of a country. You don't just rely on just your armed forces, the location of your country, and so on and so forth. Population is a very critical element of national power. It is from this population that you get a critical mass. Imagine the child that was 10 years old on the 27th of July of 2009. In 37 days' time, it will be exactly 1 year that Boko Haram erupted. That child who was 10 years old today will be a full-grown man of 20 years. You can imagine, we're not talking of one child, we're talking of hundreds, thousands of them, millions of them. So therefore, when we look at population as an element of national security, don't be surprised if out of every 100 Almajirai, you might have 2 neurologists, 4 architects, 2 lawyers, and so on and so forth. So if we don't start thinking short, mid, and long term to overcome this problem, and like I told you earlier on, to overcome this problem, you require a collective effort. You can't carry this load and drop it on top of the government. Even government itself should not act as a one-legged tripod. It has to be 3-legged. The executive cannot be the one carrying all the problem. It has to work with the judiciary and the legislature. But that in itself is not enough. You need to mobilize the rest of society. And that rest of society, you start mobilizing them 20 years to the time that you need them. So you need to deal with the issue of these children, these Almajirai. Regardless of how people feel about it, we must work in sync with, the rest of the international community.
While reacting to the $1 billion approved and released by the National Economic Council sometime in 2017, the National Security Advisor said he is not aware of how that money was spent, but is sure the money was for the military.
$1 billion, I believe, that you're talking about was actually earmarked for the military, not for security agencies like the intelligence community and the paramilitary agencies. It was earmarked for the military. That's as much as I know. Whether it was given to them or not, I really don't know.
With the current security challenges in the country, it has become imperative for government to toe that line to make sure that all loopholes are blocked. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroga Nefifen for Ben Television.
Discover the tangible magic of our hospitality that is all about you. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Apartments is a surely fantasy-like journey into a glamorous world of pure luxury and gratifying indulgence. The Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments offers guests a perfect blend of relaxation, business, and pleasure, delicately infused to meet the highest international standards. It's first-class service at its finest. Our commitment to exceed your expectations means impeccable attention to detail, courtesy, and a genuine care for your every need. Located at number 8 Gadonasco Street, off Jose Martin at Socorro, Abuja, Nigeria. You can call us on +234 908 7561 269 or visit our website at wellscurtain.com. Upgrade your stay at the Wells Curtain Hotel and Luxury Apartments, an experience guaranteed to leave you breathless with longing.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omagege, has promised that the next Senate will work assiduously in ensuring a level playing ground in order to actualize President Muhammadu Buhari's next level agenda. Senator Omagege gave the assurance while speaking with Senate correspondent in Abuja. He noted that the National Assembly might become a rubber stamp to the executive its force. Delta Central representative explained that as a presiding officer, he is not allowed to be partisan, but to work with all senators across party line for the benefit of Nigerians.
Now, as a presiding officer, as best I'm able to, I'm no longer going to be partisan. Everybody will be carried along, because the 68 votes I had were only 62 APC senators. But I was elected by 68 of my colleagues. So the support cut across party lines. So as we move forward, we are first and foremost senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Before we are senators of either APC, PDP, or YPP extraction. As far as the executive is concerned, I'm not oblivious of the platform that brought me to the Senate, which is the APC. The commitment we made to our people when we contested these elections was that as we go back to the Senate after the elections, we will provide the enabling environment for Mr. President to be able to implement the next level agenda. That is what we campaigned on, and that is what we intend to do.
The DSP, who was alleged to have been involved in snatching the maize last year, April, said he has put all allegations behind him and fully focused in the next Senate.
When I accepted my nomination that day, I did so with humility, with gratitude to all of my colleagues, and malice, malice towards none. This is the 9th Senate. All that transpired in the 8th Senate is not history, it's yesterday. Now we have to look forward as we move forward. We're only going to be interested in bills that will positively impact on the lives of the Nigerian people. I think that's what they expected of us, and that's what they're going to get.
A group of lawmakers drawn from various parties are heading to court over alleged proof of vote buying and gross impunity by Clerk of the National Assembly, Alhaji Sani Omolore. Omolore, who supervised the June 11 election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker in the House of Representatives, is being accused of having condoned impunity among the lawmakers. The spokesman of the new group, Honorable Mark Tisia Gabila, PDP Giwa West and Giwa East Federal Constituency, Benue State, in a statement said G70 was an political group of House members across party lines who, after truth, transparency, and protection of the independence of the legislature, making reference to the photographic images and video evidence being released to back up their claim. Gabila asserted they are only embarking on principled struggle, adding that while the members has no personal grudge against any person or political party, they will not condone any illegitimacy in the election of the persons who will lead the House of Representatives. According to they believe they condemn totality the use of any form of financial inducement and systemic coercion to compare towards choosing a leader in a manner that totally destroy the sanctity and integrity of the House and the National Assembly as whole, the statement added. This is what we are fighting against, and we are doing it for the good of democracy and the good of our nation. We believe that if President Buhari himself truly preaches and believes in transparency and the anti-corruption, then he should realize what his government and what whom he supported has done to become Speaker of the House. Alleging the prevalence of anti-democratic tendencies, impunity, and vote buying in the voting exercise that took place in the House of Representatives on June 11, he said the newly formed G70 group of the House member is seeking the nullification of the purported victory of Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila and Honorable Wase, adding that they are determined to tender relevant evidence towards ensuring the entire exercise is nullified. Emphasizing the voting process confirmed various alarm raised about the likely buying of vote on the massive scale. He said that G70 is heading to court immediately to seek legal redress for what he described as an affront against democracy and the law. The statement added, this is a fallout of the manner in which the election of the House Speaker and Deputy Speaker was conducted under an atmosphere that was rife with allegations of inducement, and these have been confirmed. For instance, we have the evidence that many members were taking pictures of the members' green card with specific serial number as given to those being induced to vote for Gbajabiamila.
Kogi State Council of Traditional Rulers has again endorsed Governor Yahaya Bello to run for a second term in office. Speaking after meeting President Muhammadu Buhari at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa Abuja, spokesman of the group, Oba Solomon Dele Owoniyi, the Obaro of Kaba, said it became necessary following the performance of the governor.
We had to reintroduce our governor. Some people in the media, social media, they already say we are playing politics. We are not playing politics, we are being realistic. When you are realistic, you say things as they are. We came to reintroduce our governor to the president and demanded for normal support since they belong to the same party. The issue of endorsement is not here. The people at home had already endorsed His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello for second term. So we don't need to re-endorse him in Abuja here. All we needed to do was to represent him to His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. So we are happy. The President received us very well. He received our governor. The traditional rulers have reconfirmed their support for both the federal and the state government. And I'm happy to announce too, because our governor announced it there, that the last tranche of the Paris Club, which bailout fund of about 30.8 billion, has been approved. So the issue of salary arrears, the issue of allowances and pensions will be put to rest by His grace before the election. So we are confident.
While congratulating the president for re-election, they also used the medium to talk about their mission in the villa and present some of their demands as a state before the president.
We are here on behalf of all traditional rulers in Kogi State. We came to pay a courtesy call on His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. We came for three basic things. Number one, we came to felicitate with him, to congratulate him for winning the last general elections. Secondly, we came to pray for him that this last lap is very critical in the checkered history of Nigeria. And it's our wish and prayer that all the aspirations of the president will come to fruition without much rancor. And thirdly, like the president himself said, the chairman of Kogi Traditional Council, the Atai Igala, the president said he had come to upgrade what the president called the shopping list. Since we voted for the president, and as usual, as Oliver Twist, we must demand for our rights. So we decided to upgrade the list of our demands from Kogi State. And I'm pleased to inform you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, that the president has graciously alluded to most of our requests.
The incumbent Governor Yahaya Bello will again face Kogi people for a re-election bid if he eventually gets the ticket of the All Progressive Congress. The group was led by the Atta of Igala. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroga Nefife for Ben Television.